My uncle Glenn Carvalho started off Mas many years ago. So I think I was a carnival baby before I was even born. And then I went to St. Monica's preparatory school, and they were very much into the arts and culture. And I remember we had certain standards that were allowed to do certain things. And I remember being in standard 3, and we were only doing choir. There was a renowned thespian named Miss Sonia Moores. She has passed, unfortunately. And I remember my lunch break when they were practicing the standard 5s and standard 4s acting. And I remember going to our hall, eating my peanut butter sandwich and watching the act, and I was just enthralled, like literally enthralled. And I guess I always had a very large or big personality, and I knocked on the door, and I pushed myself in, and I introduced myself to Miss Sonia Moores, and she laughed. And I told her I wanted to be an actor, and she said, "Do you know about acting?" And I said, "No, I'm in the choir." And fast forward 25 years after the fact, I'm in the acting world. No regrets. I was not one to be into academia, and I think my mom knew that. I come from a single parent home. I do have my passes. I had lessons every single day, Monday to Saturday, both for primary school and secondary school and tertiary. So academia never came to me quick like my other cousins and family members. But my mom always knew that I had a gift or a calling, and she was very open-minded, and that I'm very grateful for. You have to remember, fast forward 23 years, acting and theater and being in the arts was a taboo. You have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, or a bank manager. But my mom always gave me that avenue. I started off in Lights of Love Movement. I did workshops at Brian McFarlane. I did workshops at Raymond Chukong, Bagas Company. I don't think at that time I knew I would have or owned 5 companies. But again, I believe that God or the greater being has a path for every single one of us. We might not know what the path is, but definitely everything, all the elements fall together. Carvalho Kiddies Mas, and it's very interesting because one of my sections in my Kiddies Carnival band is called The Winding Path, and that definitely resonates with me because my life, my journey that I've been on has been a winding path. In our Kiddies Carnival band, it's not just a band, it's not just showcasing theatre or being pretty mass. We're going into schools to do interactive workshops. I really believe that the culture, our art form, our rich culture is dying. Our new generation has so much to offer, but who's teaching them the craft of wire bending? Who's teaching them the craft of performance? Who's teaching them the craft of tie-dye and batik and fabrics? So it's not just only a pretty mass band to have fun on the road, but I also believe in fusing education with fun. So from next week, we are going to various schools, secondary and primary, and we're teaching them the craft. And having said that, we're allowing them that once they do the work and they put in the effort, they'll be rewarded by getting some free costumes into the band. I also believe that, give a man a fish, he eats for one day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And I have been taught as a successful person over many years in this industry through hard labor and love. And to me, I want to pass on my knowledge, my vast experience onto the young generation. And I tell people all the time, it's not just acting, it's not just performing. When you do a show, a theatrical show, there's lights, there's sound, there is ushering, there's stage management, there's makeup, there's hair. There's so many facets and components that make up a production, and not everybody can act, but you can actually have a viable paycheck, in different facets, but you have to give them the opportunity and give them the avenue to resonate, and at the end of the day, my granny tells me, you don't have to have plenty degrees like a thermometer, but what you have to have is passion, focus, respect, and discipline in any art form. And having said that, you have to believe in yourself. I really have to thank my corporate sponsors, my title sponsor. Yesterday Carnival was a family thing, a friendship thing, almost like a guy-up or a community where you come after work and you make a pilau, or you make a macaroni pie or stew chicken, and you actually do it for the love and the passion. Fast forward 24 years now, it's a business. It's a business, you have to pay, and these costs are astronomical. And without my corporate sponsors, there's no way my dream could have come to fruition. I'm really excited because my name is synonymous with being King of Carnival. My name is synonymous with children's theatre in Trinidad. And I really want to bring the theatre in terms of from Kiddies Carnival many years ago. It has totally evolved. The world has evolved. So now it's almost like an adult band without the alcohol. So we have a 40-foot music truck. We have special security. We have a drinks truck. We have a bathroom truck. So it's a lot of logistics and a lot of rolling parts that all come together. We're going to be ready, and my team is super excited. I tell people all the time, yes, might be the creative brain behind everything, but you need a strong team, you know. At Carvalho, it's about we, it's not about I. And I'm really looking forward to presenting our Mas for the first time, Kiddies Carnival, for many years to come. And I really want to push our culture. I am so proud to be Trimegonian, and any time for me to be a cultural ambassador, whether it's for adults or whether it's for local or regional, I'm very proud to be Trimegonian, and I love the aspect of pushing our rich culture. One of my main notes to all parents when they came to register, at the end of the day, we have 4 main competitions for Kiddies Carnival, and I definitely wanted the band to look full, and I wanted the kids to actually experience every single competition. It's different, you know, locations, it's different environments. So I told them it's not about just registering for one competition. Parents are very important also too, because we have to drive the kids there, take them back, and as well as manage the kids. It's an amazing feeling, you know, for many different reasons. One, you know, you take 4 or 5 months to actually design a costume, get a concept of a costume, create the costume, fabricate the costume, and then bam, you're at the Nationals, Queen's Park Savannah. And you know, after all the sleepless nights, after all the nerves, after all the energy, after all the thousands of dollars being spent, you know, when that audience goes wow, or when they applaud for you, all of those hours of no sleep just comes back to like, wow, you feel justified. And again, being a country ambassador to me is also so important. So the documentation of me being king every single year, you know, I go down into the records of Trinidad Carnival, means a lot to me. And I also feel as though that I'm also representing my family that started off so many years ago. I was very fortunate to be in the association. I was much younger, of Brian McFarlane, of Peter Minchell, and of Wayne Barclay. I also had the privilege of once meeting a fantastic, renowned designer called Carly Chang. And I think from the get-go, I was young. I didn't actually understand what they were telling me at the time, but I was just so marveled and so amazed of the colors and of the creativity. And I really think Mas has evolved in terms of, it has become so commercialized, and I'm not being negative towards any bands in Trinidad and Tobago, because it has become a business. But at the end of the day, I think, or I miss the creativity. And that is my actual, the reason why it motivated me to bring a section in paparazzi and to also have my Kiddies Carnival band. So although I'm in a sexy mass band paparazzi, my costume is very theatrical. I also find also with the adult bands, you know, it's all about being slim or being small. And that in itself, they say is inclusive, but it's not. It's actually not inclusive. And that puts a strain on the mental of any masquerader, because at the end of the day, you want to feel as though you have to fit in. So you're saying it's all-inclusive, but it's really not all-inclusive. It's exclusive. So when I was approached to bring this special section called Sitar, which is Indian themed in paparazzi, my main discussion with them was that, will I be allowed to add my theatrical flair with extra fabric and stuff to make my masquerader or the masquerader feel comfortable in their own skin? Because my band, I only have 2 male sections. You know, that is something that I believe that in terms of males are not given the options, you know. When designers are doing creativity, they tend to lean towards more female designs. And I'm not too sure if that's because it's deemed easier. I realize that there is a lack of creativity or options for males. Even me with the Kiddies Carnival band, You know, I did research, of course. Yes, you know, having an idea and being creative and liking it is one thing. But at the end of the day, I had to do logistics, and I had to do research to find out. And from all the past Achilles Carnival bands that I respect, it really has more females than males.